Hello. I I tried to search for videos about Syria before the revolution, before 2011 or after, and most of the videos are like documentary styles. Someone visiting Syria or someone talking about Syria, but 100% they are foreigners. I found videos on YouTube, you can find them also, made by Syrians speaking Arabic. So I just want to use my ability to speak English to make this video to tell you about the history of Syria from the perspective of Syrian. I was born in Damascus. My family is originally from Damascus. We are from a suburb of Damascus called Mezze. Historically, it used to be a village outside of the walls of Damascus, the old city. But after that, Damascus started to get bigger, and my area became a part of the city. It became one of the suburbs, let's say, of Damascus. It's famous, everyone knows it because unfortunately, my area is famous for its prison. There's a Mezze prison. It's a political prison. I think they closed it in 2000 and they moved everyone to Saidnaya prison. And it's also famous because we have so many embassies in the area. And unfortunately, the castle, the national castle, we say, it's for when the president used to meet someone, another president come, there's a castle in Damascus, they used to do that. So I want to talk about my childhood. I grew up in Mezze. I was born in 1988, so my childhood was mostly in the 90s. Back then, um, I sorry, I'm just natural. I want to talk normal. I don't know how to edit videos. I'm not a professional. I'm not a journalist. Just a normal guy. I want to talk about my experience. Um, During the 90s, we had Assad's father, not this Bashar, his father before. For me as a child, in school, we learned that he's like a god. They used to call him the first teacher, the first farmer, the first worker. It's real, I'm not exaggerating. So, in my mind as a child, I used to imagine that, yeah, he was the first teacher. He was the first teacher he was the first farmer. He invented, I'm a child. Until I started to grow up more and I realized like, yeah, this is propaganda. But during my childhood, because we learn like that in school, our school books have his picture, the notebooks have his pictures on it, on the covers. We used to wear a uniform for school. Everyone used wear the same uniform in elementary school. It was like a brownish color. It's so ugly. Everyone hated it, but we have to. It's not a choice. You have to wear the uniform. And it has his picture on it. For sure. It have his picture. Everything have his picture. The father. Uh, when we learn about Syrian history in school, when we learned about it, it starts from his time, when he came to rule. We don't know anything about the previous time. We learn like this. There was Muhammad, the Prophet. There is the Umayyad Khilafat, Caliphate. There's Abbasi, there's Ottomans, and then there's Assad. So there was a period of time, 70 years, since the Ottoman Empire fell in Syria, until Assad. We don't know anything about that. We just know that it was disturbance. It's just imagination because you are a child. You don't dig deep. You don't ask questions. That what's happening? Where is that 70 years? You just learn. There was a disturbance. So forget about it. Then Assad came, he established the country, he made Syria. We imagine like he made the country. We are living in a country that he made. And then now we are here and we are the best country in the world. We used to imagine like that. Because the 90s, when I grew up, we had one TV channel, that is the Syrian official channel. You see the news when your parents let you stay late, and it's official news. You watch cartoon once every day. You wait for it after school. Everything is about that family, him. Everything is his achievements. Domes, roads, factories, electricity, water, everything was his. As a child, I believed like that. I truly believed that. He was the first. He was like an amazing guy. We used to, because you have to we had, what is it? Slogans, I think, the name that we have to chant his name before we go to class every day. When you go to class, the board, there is his picture. On top of the board, there is his picture. You see his picture everywhere. So you have to like admire. You don't see him as a human. We used to see him like something else, something so much big. And as a child, I used to dream to go to the army. I used to dream to be an army officer. It was my dream. I wanted to join the army. Until I started to grow up, I moved to middle school. In middle school, our uniform was similar to the army uniform. One color, khaki, I think. And I don't know the name in English. It's like the greenish color. Everyone have to wear it. We have sign here like army officers. 1, 2, 3 lines. If you are one, you are the first middle school, junior, second, like that. So even there was ranking. And in school, I was a little bit tall. I'm a big guy. And they made me, in the third class, I was having a sign here, like army officers, like security. What is the job of this security? If you see someone doing anything wrong in school, you can take them to the principal, like a police. And if you don't, you can write a report, you can write their name. They were making us like intelligence, like policing each others. So you would be afraid of other students. It was like it was humanly, this is disgusting for children, but they used to teach us like this. You have to be afraid of others. You can't do anything wrong because someone might write your name without telling you. And the teacher or the principal might just come and you say, come here. And you will be beaten. We were beaten. During my school, I was beaten. They have a method of that. You open your hand like this and they bring a stick and they hit you on the leg, on your hand. 5 times, 6 times, it depends on what's wrong you did. Might be you talked during class. I was beaten so much. I was so like a monkey. I used to talk. I want to talk. If you disagree with the teacher, you might be beaten. You can't discuss something with the teacher. Teacher is like a police officer. If the thing you did is extreme, is like you skip the class or something, you will be beaten on your foot. They will make you take off your shoe, lay on the ground, raise your legs up. 2 other students will hold your legs and they will beat you on your feet. They shaved my head once in school. I went, my hair was long. It wasn't long. I wasn't just looking like the army guys. They want us to look all the same, like the army. I'm not bald. I shave like this because I hate hair. And I'm lazy to go to barber. I don't like it. But when I was a kid, my hair was just a little bit longer than what they want. So the teacher will bring a scissor and they cut from here. So they force you to cut all your hair because there's nothing to fix. That was school. This is school, the place that you should be happy to go to. In Syria, you were afraid. You were terrified as a child to go to school because you are going there. Yeah, I learned about guns. They teach us how to shoot guns in middle school. There was a class called the army class. So I was 14 the first time I shot a gun. We used to have this class, the army class. It's called the army class. And you have to learn about, marching, the way the soldiers walk. You have to learn about that. You have to learn about the hand grenade. There was a hand grenade that you have to know the specifics of it. You have to learn, we used to learn about the from Czech Republic. There was a gun. We had to learn about that. We shot from that. You have to learn the specifics of it, all of it. You have to learn the army rankings as a kid. Why? I don't know. You have to learn it. It's a kind of class. Same like we learned Arabic, English, math, everything. Geography. This is the same. You have to learn about the army. And there was an army officer, low rank army officer. This is the teacher. It was something like he's in the army, but he's a teacher. I don't know the specifics of it, but it was like that. So until I went to high school. In high school, first I grew up, so my eyes were more open to the situation. That's what's happening here. Why we all have to wear the same? Why I'm a kid. I wanna go. In my time, Counter Strike was new, and I was crazy about Counter Strike, PlayStation, these things. I'm just a kid. I'm not an army officer. And then I started to hate the army. I canceled the dream of having to be in the army. And that was mostly affected. There was something that I realized. We had people serving in the army in my neighborhood. One of them was from another city, from Idlib, I think. Yeah. And he was a high-ranking officer, like a captain, I guess. But in Syria, I don't know the system in other countries. In Syria, there is officers and there's lower rankings. They are not officers. They are not the people who studied in the military academy. So he was from the high-ranking one, a captain, and he drove a car. We say was in Arabic. I think it's UAZ. It's a car manufactured in the Soviet Union. I don't know which country. It's old, like Jeep style. It's so old. The car was manufactured in the 60s or 70s. And there was another guy from the same sector, like Assad, Alawites. He was lower. He was from the other ranking that didn't study in the military academy. He wasn't an officer, but he was in the army. I don't know the name, sergeant or something. I'm not sure. He drove a Mercedes S600, I think. The one long Mercedes. We call it the Ghost Shabah. This is where the name Shabiha, that you will hear from me later, came. And I was like, I asked my father, how? Why? Shouldn't the officer be higher? Because back then I just learned about the army rankings, and I understood that this guy is higher than this guy. Even when they meet in the street, by the army law, the lower one have to say that to the other one, sir. Even they are neighbors, they have to say sir, because it's the army law. And I saw it, that he's saying to him, sir, good morning, sir. And I was like, why they have different cars? And my father said to me, it's because this one is from another religion. This one is Alawites. This one is Sunni, like us. And my father said to me, don't talk about these things in front of people. You asked me, but don't ask other people. This is like dangerous. And here where I learned about danger, that there is things in Syria that you shouldn't talk about. This is forbidden to talk about. And it wasn't something that you should talk about with everyone because you can't trust everyone. And I realized like, there is things that I can't talk about, even if it's wrong, even if it's not normal. And I will keep talking about it with you, tell you about my experience as a Syrian. It will take long. I'm gonna make other videos about it until we reach this happiness that we are living now. And I hope everyone who's oppressed live this happiness. Thank you.